Hey everybody, James here for Fish Room Fever, and today I want to talk to you about this NU Aqua 75 gallon per day RODI unit. But before we get into that, I guess the question would be really, do you need an RODI unit? Honestly, I don't know if you do. I will tell you some of the reasons that I need one, and maybe those apply to you, and if they do, awesome. I hope you watch the rest of the video and find out about this little system here. So I've never been a fan of chasing numbers or trying to change water for your fish. Everything that I keep, from my zebra plecos to my NuAqua shrimp, is all in my tap water, and it does fine. It thrives. It's all happy and healthy. That being said, there are some instances where I can't keep certain things, and that's one of the reasons that I am setting up another RODI unit. When it comes to Caridina shrimp and some other shrimp, they just don't live in my water. When it comes to breeding certain L number plecos, although those plecos will live in my water just fine, it doesn't really promote breeding for them. And also there can be issues with egg development, and that goes for a lot of different fish. Trying to get breeding parameters is oftentimes different than trying to get just standard living parameters that they can be happy and healthy in. So what you can do with RODI, if you're not familiar with it, by the time you run it through this system, it comes out completely pure. So everything is at a zero essentially, excluding your pH. But there's no chemicals, no additives, no minerals, nothing. From that point, you need to remineralize it for the purpose that you're going to use it for. There are some specific shrimp remineralization products, and then there are also products just for general aquarium remineralization. So if you've thought, hey, I'd really like to keep these certain things, but my water just won't work for them at all, RODI is a great way to reset everything and then add back specifically what you want for whatever you're trying to keep or breed. Another way that it can come in handy is if you've got really hard water and you're just not having luck with maybe anything but African cichlids. It can help you bring down your water to where you can keep a wider variety of fish. So with that being said, if you think you might need an RODI system, I encourage you to watch the rest of this. We're going to take a look at this. Full transparency, I get a lot of companies that email me asking if I'll do a video of their crap, and that's why I usually don't, is because it's junk. That being said, I looked at NU Aqua, I looked through the company, I looked at their customer service reviews, I looked at the warranty they offered, looked at the price point, and looked at the general quality, and decided we'd give them a shot. So this is their 75 gallon per day unit. The way that this works is you're going to run water in through stage 1, which is your sediment block, or your sediment filter. It's going to go over to your carbon block. It goes up to an RO unit on top, and then runs through the DI membrane here, and then comes out with that pure water that we talked about. Now, one of the things I really like about this unit is they use the industrial standard 10 inches for all of these different components in here, so it's not going to be a proprietary size that you necessarily have to go back to them for when you need to replace these cartridges. They do sell them, but oftentimes you can pick them up at a local fish store while you're already there, or you could get them on Amazon. But again, they have some different packages to make them really affordable. The sediment filter that they send with this is a 1 micron filter, and then the carbon is a 5 micron for those of you that are curious. And if you're not familiar with what all that means, the wonderful world of YouTube has all the answers for you. Now, it does come with a wrench, and this is used for putting these on and taking these off. I've got that one really tightened down. Let's go over here. This is always fun to do on camera here like this. So there. Now, this one particular part, I think I've already taken the plastic off, but when you get it, it's got a piece of plastic around here, some packaging you do want to remove, and then attach this back on there and tighten it down. Then I just like to make sure everything is nice and snug. So we just fit that wrench up there, tighten it down. And as you saw, I've already made sure that those were tight. Yeah, they did do an awesome thing here. They made setup really easy. All this shenanigans up top here, they've already got that assembled and hooked up for you, so you don't have to try and figure out which is in and which is out. And they've color coded everything. So we've got the unit, comes with all the filtration membranes, comes with your wrench there, You also get a booklet on all these parts. Lots of different adapters. There are a lot of different ways to hook up an RODI unit. We'll talk that more in just a second. But they do send some tubing as well, and it's color coded. So when you come over here, this is where you're going to be bringing water into the system from your tap. So you would simply slide off this little blue clip. It's a lot easier when I'm not having to do it from the back and holding some other stuff. Slide this little clip off, and then you're going to push in on the little pressure release, pull that out, and then you can push your white tubing in there, and it's just a pressure fitting. So you give it a little tug just to make sure it's secure, and then I always put the little clip back on there. Maybe that's just a me thing, but I recommend it. Keeps that from accidentally getting pushed in. Now you've got that locked in place. You would simply repeat that process with each of the color-coded tubes. This right here, the black one lines up, that's going to be your quote-unquote wastewater. So all of the impurities, all that nastiness that we're taking out of the water to clean it up, it's got to go somewhere. It's going to come out of there. There are a couple different things you can do with that. You can run it just straight back down the drain. You could run it to your washing machine and wash clothes in it. You could water plants outside with it. There are a lot of different uses for RODI wastewater. That's an hour-long video in and of itself. I do want to point out something that someone else mentioned to me, which is that if you're putting it back into the system, so if you're on city water and you're running it down the drain, it is going back into the water supply, so it's not technically being wasted in the sense of we're removing that from our usable water source. So just something to think about there. Once you've got all that set up, and again with the fittings, we've got quite a few different options, lots of different adapters, depending upon what you go with. If you go with more of the water hose style hookup, which these I really like to use, you can go behind your washing machine, and then you can put a Y in there for your cold water, and you do want to make sure that you run cold water through this system. Put a Y in there and then run this to it so that you've got it hooked up there. But you also have the option of running it off the bathroom sink or a kitchen sink or something like that. I don't encourage that you set it up outside simply because you really don't want it to be in direct sunlight and you don't want it anywhere that it could potentially freeze. But say if you're using this fitting that they send, which would be for like a sink adaptation, it does have an on-off valve on it there. And then you would hook up the other end of that white hose onto that barb there. If you were going to do it on this other adapter, it's just got a press fitting, just like we talked about up there. Simply take that, push it in there, give it a little tug to make sure it's secure, screw that on, and you're set. So we're going to have this hooked up to our water in for the white. Our black is going to be our wastewater, and then our blue line will hook in right here. Another color-coded piece. They made it real simple. That is going to be your pure water. That's going to be the good water that you're wanting to collect so that you can remineralize that, or what's called cut it, which is when you mix it back with tap water to get certain parameters. Again, that's a vast subject we won't get into today, but you can definitely look through that on YouTube or Google, and there are all sorts of awesome resources for it. But that's pretty much it. They do recommend that you run it for an hour or two. Just trash all that first part of water just to let the system get charged up, get all the excess particulate and things out of it, and then you should be running absolutely pure. A couple of reasons that I do really like this company. Again, going through reviews and what I saw, everything looked really good. They do offer a 120-day money-back guarantee. So if you get it, you try it, you don't like it, 120-day money-back guarantee. It's free shipping in the continental US. And then they do have a 5-year warranty. Now, I read through all the fine print on all over the website. One thing I do want to advise you is that in order to get the full 5-year warranty, you do need to go online and register the product for that. I think you get a 1 or a 2-year warranty without online registration. But to take advantage of the full 5 years, which I highly recommend you do, you're already on the internet right now anyways, so you just go through there, register it online, super fast, 5-year warranty on it. That is essentially it. Again, there are all sorts of things around RODI that we could take hours and hours to discuss. One other thing I do want to mention is they did send me a quick connect fitting float valve. So these are great if you're going to be running this into a reservoir. So if you're taking that blue line and you're collecting a lot of this water to be used, and like say a big toad or a trash can or something like that, you can purchase one of these. The way that they've made this, I think, is a lot better than a lot of the other float valves that I've seen, where you've got to do some different maneuvering. But this was an additional piece. It doesn't come with it when you purchase it, though they did send that to me for free, full disclaimer. Other than that, I really hope that you all have taken away something from this. Maybe if nothing else, you've learned that, hey, it's possible to use Blooper reel. Maybe it's possible to use RODI water to keep some things that you aren't able to keep at this point, or to spawn some things that you haven't been able to spawn. I usually don't do this for most products that I review, but in this particular case, I did take the affiliate link offer. So if you click the link down below, I make some sort of commission on it or something. Really, I just wanted to track and see how many people actually clicked on it. But again, full disclosure and transparency. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you give it a shot. If you're seeing this video, that means that I've hooked all this up and I've been running it and testing it and everything's working great. Again, if it didn't, 120-day money-back guarantee, and I'd put out a follow-up video. But if you're seeing this, all has gone well, and I'm enjoying this RODI system. Appreciate you watching. I encourage you to come by a live stream on Thursday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Come hang out with a lot of awesome fish people, ask some questions. Until next time, keep your fish healthy, keep yourselves healthy. Don't be afraid to catch yourself with a little fish room fever. Take care, everybody.